In this tutorial, we will be demonstrating how to utilize the BLAST protocol performance dashboard within your virtual desktop environment using the VDI ToolKit. This dashboard allows you to see overall BLAST protocol performance metrics across your virtual desktop environment. So what information does the BLAST protocol performance dashboard provide? Well, it provides information on daily average BLAST protocol metrics, average BLAST protocol breakdown by hour metrics, day, week, month, and quarter average BLAST protocol metrics, highest 5 average BLAST protocol metrics, and lowest 5 BLAST protocol metrics. So let's go over a few definitions first before getting on to that. So the first one is frames per second, which is the frame rate measured in frames per second. We have the round trip time, which is the time in milliseconds for round trip time from the client to the virtual desktop. We have jitter, which is for the uplink measured in milliseconds and is the variation in the delay of received packets. We have packet loss, which is the network packet loss for uplink in percentage. So the daily average BLAST protocol metrics provide information on daily average frames per second, daily average round trip time, daily average jitter, and daily average packet loss. This allows you to identify trends within your environment, helping identify when performance changes occurred and noting when performance has degraded. The BLAST protocol breakdown by hour metrics provide information on hourly average frames per second, hourly average round trip time, hourly average jitter, and hourly average packet loss. This provides information on metrics by hour of day, allowing you to try and determine if performance degradation is only occurring at certain points in the day. Day, week, month, and quarter BLAST protocol metrics provide information on average frames per second, average round trip time, average jitter, and average packet loss during specified time frame. The highest 5 average BLAST protocol metrics provide information on average frames per second by user, average round trip time by client, average packet loss by client, and average jitter by client. This information helps you identify clients that are performing poorly, possibly due to network issues. The lowest 5 average BLAST protocol metrics provide the same information, but it's the lowest items, so the best performers. This helps you identify your best performers so you can use a cross-reference to determine why, so you can possibly help the worst performers. So let's talk about why our charts are ugly. Okay, so that's a strong term, and our charts aren't ugly, and we take pride in them. So let me elaborate what we mean by that. First, we believe data should be represented as it presents itself and should be unadulterated. So what does that mean? Well, it means we use no smoothing algorithms on our charts, such as rolling moving averages, etc. Many other companies, when providing charts, are so worried about making them pretty, they modify the data with smoothing algorithms. You are in essence not seeing the true representation of the data when such algorithms are used. This can lead to thinking there isn't a problem when actually there is one. We choose to focus on a true representation of the data versus a pretty representation of the data. We believe this will equip you with better tools to make better decisions within your virtual desktop environment. Up next, we will demonstrate utilizing the BLAST protocol performance dashboard using the VDI ToolKit. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So what we'll do is open up the management console, and I'll go ahead and navigate to that. I have it running on a virtual desktop, so we'll go ahead and double click here and run that. Once the management console is open, we'll go ahead and expand it, and then we'll navigate to dashboards, performance, and we will then navigate. We'll see that it opened up the CPU dashboard. We'll go ahead and navigate to protocol, and we'll see here that we have our BLAST protocol dashboard. So with the BLAST protocol dashboard, first thing I want to go over is the daily metrics. So as we can see here, we have our daily metrics for the average frames per second, average round trip time, average jitter, and average packet loss. And this can be useful in possibly identifying central networking issues or things like that, or performance degradation within your environment, and actually give you a point in time where it it started to degrade further. It shows the date here, so you could see what date it started to misbehave or perform poorly. Just so you know, we can break down these. We can actually left click and drag and highlight. And once we do that, it actually brings us and zooms us in on the chart. And so we can break down. If we double click on the chart, it brings us back to the 365-day view. We also, just to go over too, if you navigate to this ellipsis, you can show grid lines, or you can show the legend, and you can actually take items off as well. I'll go ahead and add those back and quit showing the legend. Next, I want to talk about the BLAST protocol breakdown by hour, which gives you these metrics based on an average over 365 days, broken down by hour of day. So this can allow you to spot trends that are occurring during certain hours of the day. So if we have performance degradation at certain hours of the day, maybe something's going on that we need to look into that. Maybe it's networking issues. Maybe the network's being bogged down with issues such as backups going on or something like that. And if we highlight over here, we'll see we got average frames per second, average round trip time, average jitter, and average packet loss. Next, what I want to talk about is the day, week, month, and quarter metrics up here at the top. And we can see we have all four of those up here, which is average frames per second, average round trip time, and average packet loss, and average jitter. If we take and we change our time interval, you'll see these values update because it's recalculating the averages off of that time interval. Please note when you change these intervals as well, it updates your highest 5 and lowest 5 as well too. So the highest 5 is really to see your worst performers. And so here we have average frames per second by user. We have average round trip time by client. So this can help you identify clients that maybe there's a networking issue down trace where those are located and they're performing more poorly because you're seeing higher round trip times. The higher the round trip times you see, obviously you're going to see a degradation in the virtual desktop performance for the end user. We also have the same for average packet loss, which could help you identify where clients are located that you're seeing a lot of packet loss. So let's say all these clients were ones from a different department. We could see what's going on in that department networking wise and why they're possibly losing packets. And we also have the same for jitter as well too. If we click on the highest 5, it'll actually bring us to the lowest 5, and these are our best performers. So we can use these kind of as a cross reference to try to see, hey, what's going on here that it's performing so much better. And lastly, what I want to talk about is you can also print these dashboards as well too. And it's as simple as coming up here and clicking the print button and then selecting a printer and printing it. I hope you found this tutorial useful, and thank you.